Well, welcome and thanks for joining us for Chuck's Big Adventure Favorite Memories Special. And Chuck, you have been on the road with Big Adventure for years now. You've seen so many things and so many memorable stories. So today we're going to take a look at all of your favorites. Well, I shouldn't say all your favorites.
But all the favorites, that's
all
right.
All the ones we could fit into this
Yes.
special, but also some of those memories that you have to go along with.
Well, you know, Julia, there are far too many to count. In fact, even putting this special together was hard because we just kept coming up with stories we loved.
And I know from you that this first story was especially important because it's one that really almost didn't happen.
Absolutely. In fact, we had this shoot scheduled in the fall of 2020 in the height of COVID, right? Well, our producer got a call from our managers a day or two before we were supposed to leave saying they were concerned and wanted to cancel. But we knew people really needed this type of escape during that difficult time. We fought for it. They let us proceed. And I'm sure glad we did because it led to so many years of amazing trips and stories that we got to share with you. And Julia, first up, the Grand Hotel of Mackinac Island. Mackinac Island's Grand Hotel undeniably lives up to its name. I see these people pull up on the horse taxis, and it's the same reaction from everybody. They look up and just go, wow.
That's my favorite thing is the oh wow when they see the hotel, when they see the interior of the hotel.
Wow. If you could see my face.
If
you could see my face, my jaw would be dropping.
Sure. The whole idea is that a room is not a room. What we sell here is a summer experience. So the idea is to gift wrap it. And a room is not a room, it is a package to be unwrapped.
There are 397 of these eclectic packages.
Every single room is different. A lot of Venetian art glass in here. Bright, fun, splashy colors.
All contained in a dizzying labyrinth of a 133-year-old hotel on a remote island. How did this ever work?
It's just a rare thing that it survived and thrived and evolved. And the history here, it's not names and dates and chronological orders and architectural features. It's the stories of the people that believed in this place, both the owners of the hotel, the employees, and most importantly, the guests.
This is the signature piece of this National Historic Landmark, a 660-foot front porch, the largest of its kind in the world. 100 rocking chairs, 260 geranium boxes, and a breathtaking view of the Straits of Mackinac. For many guests, this is heaven. A harpist in the hotel parlor, a comfortable chair, and continuing a 100-year tradition. Afternoon tea. I could be at a hotel and have an afternoon snack, a nice bowl of ice cream sitting outside, and I would forget it probably 3 weeks later, but this is something you just do not forget.
Afternoon tea for us has been the opportunity for people to come in and be a part of this whole environment. So it's been fantastic.
At the Grand Hotel, one dresses for dinner, and why not? With music and a world-class menu, dinner is the high point of your stay.
It just touches so many people's lives to come here. And once you come here, you kind of get it. You kind of drink the Kool-Aid. If I can keep them under the roof for a couple days, they'll unplug and unwire and say, okay, where do you get one of these horse rides? Where do I get a bicycle? I always think, ha, we got you.
This is great. Thank you.
My pleasure. Absolutely.
Blessings.
Bon appetit.
I loved that. And you know what I still have and put it on my Christmas tree every year? You brought me home a Christmas ornament from
That's
that
right.
trip, and I love it.
That is my favorite hotel in the entire world that I've been to. I really love it.
Oh, so great. And we have another story,
Yeah.
and I know it is one of your favorites. It's also one of mine. I feel the same way. It's also another one that you told me almost
Didn't happen, and that's true. And I'll tell you, the group was a little nervous at first and took some convincing to allow us to share their story. But by the time we were done, we developed memories together for life, and what they gave us brought hope in a difficult time of COVID. Julia, this is called Santa School.
Last year, just before Christmas, our one boy decided to make my wish come true. My gift was to come to the Charles Howard School for Santa. I actually cried. My name's Bill Neely. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Check. Santa Claus, come back to me. Hello.
Hello, I'm Brian Campbell.
Hi, I'm Julie Campbell.
And
I
we're
live
from
in
Bradford,
Redford,
Michigan.
Whoa, hi.
My name is Jeff or Jeffrey Elliott. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
How long have you folks been here?
Hi, I'm Nate Mitchell. I'm from Redford, Michigan, and this is my first year of being Santa.
Hello, my name's Tom Valent. And this is the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School.
Tom, I got to tell you, this is by far
Merry Christmas!
the most fun thing we've been a part of. Thank you for having us here.
Glad to have you, Chuck. Glad to have you.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
And it's just such joy that I see out of your students.
So be good for goodness sakes.
I guess you noticed that as well.
Yeah, that's why we're here. We like the Santa spirit, and my job is to build that Santa spirit.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
I liked the saying, Santa doesn't come through the chimney, comes through the heart.
Yeah, now that was by Charlie Howard. He started the Santa School in 1937. Celebrating our 83rd year. They have to be Santa in the true sense of the meaning, to always stay in character, but they're not the real Santa. The real Santa is the Santa spirit.
What I want to do is try and be the best Santa that I can be.
Yes.
Styling my hair, makeup,
We don't need any of this because we got our own this.
putting on the suit,
That is Santa.
but not just that, but carrying the responsibility of this position, of this persona.
I am more than excited about bringing joy to the little children out here. We need some joy out here. And I'm the one that's going to bring it to them.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah, that was rotten.
Feel your whole chest and belly just
Whoa! Ha ha!
stick them right out there and just have a nice laugh and turn it into a hole. That's pretty darn good, Chuck. Really? Yeah.
What is it that your Santas get out of being Santa?
They stand for love and giving. By them giving, they get so much more back. Not in dollars, but they get the smiles on the mom's face, the smiles on the kid's face. That is priceless stuff. We can live off that most well-known character in the world, Santa Claus, and pick up that great spirit and spread it at Christmas time.
Well, the Santa School is celebrating 88 years this fall, and that was such a dark time in our country, Julia, when we went there, but it wasn't dark after we left. So much joy there at the Santa School, and a special thanks to our photographer, Steve Rhodes, who did a magnificent job on that award-winning piece.
I was going to say award-winning.
Yeah.
It did win awards. It was beautiful. And the thing that you said is about, the time in COVID. This is
right.
what we needed.
Absolutely.
This happiness, this Santa laughter.
And I'm so glad. I mean, I'm so glad, Julia, that we were able to go because it was just wonderful
And
time.
you'll be a perfect Santa, by the way, one day. Well, keeping with the winter theme around here, I know you and the team, you visited Wisconsin.
Yes.
And this was back in January of 2021. One thing Wisconsin is known for is
Cheese. Cheese curds, cheese fondues, cheese spreads, cheese sticks, they have it all. And I'm pretty sure I ate my weight in cheese during that trip, but every bite was totally worth it. You can't visit Wisconsin without considering cheese. What are your thoughts on cheese as a person who lives in this state? How do you feel about cheese?
I travel everywhere in the world and people ask that same thing.
Oh my gosh, because there are so many different varieties.
We love cheese, of course. We're from Wisconsin.
Why cheese? Well, consider this. Wisconsin is home to 1 million cows, 1 cow for every 5 people. 90% of their milk is turned into cheese. That's 2.8 billion pounds of cheese every year. Cheese isn't just food here. It's part of their identity.
Hi, I'm Michael Ventura, one of the family members who own the world-famous Mars Cheese Castle.
The Mars Cheese Castle in Kenosha really is world famous. Hey, Mike, you really are the head cheese here, right?
That's right.
And this is a legacy business.
It is. My grandfather started it in 1947.
Why is it so well known?
We do something special here. This is not just a store, it's an experience. A lot of people want to come by and see what this castle contains.
And the sign, it's even protected by law, right?
Yeah, our iconic sign was designated a landmark.
In Greene County, cheese is served with a helping of Swiss heritage.
I'm Tony Scrocken, the proud owner of Alpental Cheese here in Monroe, Wisconsin. I love to sell cheese and occasionally yodel a little bit.
So sometimes people come in and they just want you to yodel, right?
Yeah. They ask where Tony is. They say, could he yodel for us? And I do.
Melted cheese. Sliced cheese.
Sweet Swiss cheese.
Cheddar, always cheddar.
I'm a cheese lover.
Chocolate cheese with walnuts.
This food makes everything taste better.
Cheese and beer.
Cheese is our life.
Cheese and brats.
It just makes you feel good.
It's even worth singing about, right, Tony?
You got it.
Thank you. So let's hear it for one of the all-time comfort foods from the state that does it best. Let's do it. Thank you, Wisconsin. I'm now a cheesehead forever. Oh, what a great time we had. And full disclosure here, Julia, when I was a boy, once a month after church, we would go across the border. I grew up in northern Illinois, to the Mars Cheese Castle. Mike Ventura, that young man there, I knew his grandpa.
That is amazing.
And it was they were a wonderful family, still are, and that's a great place to go.
Well, and I told you my parents have really good friends in Wisconsin, and they would come here for the Indy 500 every year, and they would bring those cheese
curds,
which I don't even think I'd know what they are unless I'd grown up eating them. I love that one. We'll keep with the Wisconsin theme here, and this one is about a very icy adventure.
Yes, it is. Now, we definitely knew it would be cold shooting these stories in January, so of course, we planned a bunch of stuff outside because why not, right? Yes. So here's my Wisconsin ice fishing experience. Sawyer Harbor in Sturgeon Bay. Ice 8 inches thick makes this part of Wisconsin look like the Arctic. Cold and forbidding? No way. This is where the action is. These small buildings dotting the frigid surface facilitate one of the region's favorite outdoor activities, ice fishing. He's not even 30, but J.J. Malvitz is a veteran winter angler and the perfect person to show us the ropes.
Go on in. We go from 10 degrees to 70 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
The shack was perfect for kicking back and casting a line, though I think I scared the fish away. There is something both terrifying and peaceful about sitting atop 8 inches of ice. I could sit here all day and just enjoy every single moment of it.
Mm-hmm. And you know, you can sit in the shack. Today it's a little colder out, little breeze, so it's a little uncomfortable to be outside. But you get some of those days where there's not a puff of wind, the sun is high, where you go sit outside and it's just relaxing. There's so much natural beauty to see.
Captain JJ turned that love of nature into a successful business.
Cuts through pretty quick.
He runs 14 of these fishing huts and offers his customers a full-service ice fishing experience.
I have heated Polaris UTVs. I pick you up, take you out there. I tell people you get colder going to get your mail in January than when you do come and ice fishing with me.
The main catch here, perch and whitefish.
This whitefish fishery has kind of breathed a lot of life into these resorts to kind of keep the doors open and keep the heat on for people to stay. You know, you go to some of these restaurants in February on the weekends and it's just slammed with people, and a lot of people in there are up here ice fishing.
So how cold was it?
10 degrees, but the wind chill was much colder than that. And remember, we were about 1.5 miles out into that harbor on Sturgeon Bay. And our photographer, Steve Rhodes, I mean, I felt so sorry for the guy. Not so sorry that I said, go get in the car, but sorry enough because his hands were barely moving. And you have to be really careful. If you wear the right stuff, you're okay. And if that weren't enough, by the way, we even did a story on winter surfing, and our producer, Megan Simpson, tried that. And you can find that story in our full Wisconsin Adventure series at WTHR 13+.
Water surfing?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
In Sheboygan.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we know that was
It's
really...
the new Malibu, Julia.
Yes,
didn't you know
it is.
that?
No, never for me, by the way. So we know that that was not one of the coldest spots that you actually visited during your adventure, but you did visit one colder.
We sure did. And Wisconsin wasn't even close to this. This next place takes the cake for the worst weather in the world. And that's no joke, but it was also my favorite destination in Chuck's Big Adventure. New Hampshire's Mount Washington is next level when it comes to extreme conditions, so naturally, we had to visit. From this to this in just 3 miles? Welcome to Mount Washington, home of some of the world's most extreme weather, and maybe the most unique way of reaching a summit.
This is not Amtrak. This is not a freight train. This is one of the most unusual locomotives that anybody will ever see. How do you train for this?
With over 150 years of history here, we have some processes uniquely adapted to this line, this equipment, and this mountain.
Sylvester Marsh came up with this idea in 1852. He was called crazy, but the Cog Railway did get built, the first of its kind in the world. The train continues the steep climb up the mountain's western slope to this day.
You know, you started your morning on the train, maybe a little damp, some nice fall colors, different ecological zones with our vegetation.
Okay, we have entered the alpine zone.
And as you came up to the summit,
wow,
we have the weather and Mount Washington living up to its reputation.
Wow. Tim, thank you.
My pleasure, thank you.
Wow. Welcome to the North Pole, not Mount Washington. Extreme wind chills and hurricane force winds are common here. That's why the summit has its own weather observatory. So Hayden, you've spent the last 3 years of your life in Norway and now moved here.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I like the cold.
You do like the cold, so it's a perfect place to be, right?
It is, yep. The conditions up here are actually really similar to where I was living above the Arctic Circle.
Oh my gosh. Observers here take live weather readings.
Watch your head coming through right here.
Outside, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here soon we're going to expect 100+ mile-per-hour winds every 3 or 4 days or so.
Workers here endure brutal conditions to ensure visitors get this once-in-a-lifetime experience. What's your best pitch for people coming to Mount Washington? Why should they come?
It is a uniquely special place here. It is the crown jewel of New Hampshire. An iconic mountain full of rich history and some of the most fascinating weather and conditions that are accessible through the Mount Washington Cog Railway that other places people cannot get to.
How cold was it? I cannot believe this.
Yeah, it was obviously very cold. We had sub-zero wind chills, 65 on the ground. Then when you get to the base where you take the train, it was about 40, 42, then sub-zero wind chills on top. And this was in October.
Oh my gosh.
So you can imagine. And when we were talking about hurricane force winds, they achieve hurricane force winds 100 days a year, which is a mind blower. The highest speed, wind speed ever recorded in the United States, really in the world by a human being, was there, 231 miles per hour in April of 1934.
Oh my gosh, and it looks like you had a great way to get up there, which is an experience, right?
Yes, and you can also, Julia, get to the summit via the Cog Railway, or you can drive. Now, we did our thing. We went back down, tried to drive back up, but we only got about 2/3 of the way, and we had to turn around because this ice fog was pretty bad.
And you talk about that ice fog, and that had a little to do with Steve, your photographer, where he kind of some of his clothing and even his hair froze.
His hair. It is a phenomenon called rime ice, R-I-M-E ice, that's basically exclusive to that area of the country. And it was funny. I'm just glad it didn't happen to me because I have no hair on top of my head.
Hilarious. I love this. Okay, so next up, we are headed to Missouri, and one of the most stunning destinations in the Show Me State is really kind of what they describe it.
What a great place. Great place. In fact, Big Cedar Lodge is the creation of Bass Pro Shop founder, the great Johnny Morris, and it has a golf course worthy of any bucket list and a perfect spot to socially distance during that time of COVID. No place highlights the beauty, mystery, and spectacular views of Missouri like Big Cedar Lodge, the beautiful wilderness resort in the Ozarks.
We have a lot of amazing attractions here, not to be duplicated.
Look at the flowering trees right here. I mean, it's glowing right here.
This is Dogwood Canyon Nature Park, 10,000 acres with pristine Disney-like detail. Around the rock and water and beauty.
This is the new star in the canyon. His name is Dakota, and we got him just recently.
We got up close and personal with some amazing wildlife.
Hello there, darling.
If you're real lucky, you can try your hand at fly fishing.
Hey, buddy, what do you got right here?
I told Bob I wanted to catch a rainbow trout.
Bring him right here. That's what's known as a creek chub. There's a nice looking creek chub right there.
I can honestly say that I went to Dogwood Canyon Nature Park and caught a fish. I don't have to say how big it was, Bob.
No, you do not.
Johnny Morris, the founder of Bass Pro Shops in Big Cedar Lodge, wanted a great golf experience for guests too. There are 5 courses. We visited the newest one.
I hit the green. Hey.
Oh, there we go.
The Tiger Woods designed Paynes Valley course. The dessert of this golf dinner, the 19th hole, now called the most talked about golf hole in the world.
It's just the experience, the views of the Ozarks Mountains, and obviously you have this 19th hole behind me. But once you finish it, you actually take this cave trail up through the mountain, up through the rock, back to the clubhouse. You're going up a 200-foot limestone cliffside through ancient caves to get back to the top. It's an experience unlike any other in golf.
The nearby top of the rock is a showpiece.
Okay, so we are on the Lost Canyon Cave and Nature Trail Tour. It is a 3.5-mile cart tour through the beautiful Ozark Mountains. And along this, we're going to see everything from obviously the nature around us to waterfalls. We're going to go through the Lost Canyon Cave, and we're also going to go through some amazing bridges that range from metal bridges all the way to hand-drawn wooden bridges that were made by some local Amish families.
But you cannot experience this place without seeing the sunset in the western sky.
Sunset ceremony, no better way to describe them than iconic.
Ready, fire!
If you were in another country and visited this place, it could very well be the highlight of your trip. It's in Missouri, though, and Big Cedar Lodge is not only a treat to visit, but a memory to cherish.
Unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Julia, of all the places we went, I think this is the one you would like the most. It is amazing. So many people have not heard of it, but it is wonderful. It really is.
And it looks warmer to me.
Yes, it does.
I think I might like that.
The Wisconsin.
Well, I know Missouri, also the home of Branson, which is an entertainment's paradise, right?
Yeah, and there are dozens of shows and attractions for every taste. And we met one family act that is truly a family affair.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Matt Gum.
How's everybody doing?
Matt Gum is a Branson treasure. His act is a fast-paced mixture of comedy,
Songs that make the hit parade.
dance, and music.
I can't begin to know when.
Even an impersonation or two.
I hear the train coming. Great balls of fire. Wake up, Maggie. I was born.
So it's called Matt Gum and Company. And Matt, you're kind of a jack of all trades here. Why did you decide to get your family involved in this?
Well, you know, I learned everything from them. They're the reason why I do this.
Known quite well by.
There's Dad Tom,
Life is a highway.
Mom Sandy,
No more calling me baby.
Sister Jamie. Gum family, thank you. What a privilege to be with you all here in Branson.
Oh,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
And Tom and Sandy, congratulations on producing quite a gene pool. I mean,
I know. We can't really take a lot of credit. God had a lot to do with that.
I guess it feels good though. And Tom, with you, such a veteran going back 51 years to your start, to have your family with you.
Yeah, it really makes life fun.
This is for the one who swings a hammer.
The Gums have a rich history of entertainment in Branson and the Ozarks. Tom and Sandy began performing at Lake of the Ozarks in 1973 and have attracted generations of fans since then.
Sing along, stomp your feet, whatever.
Matt is a chip off the old block.
You mean me stealing his stuff?
Yeah.
I used it for 50 years. It's still working.
It still works.
Well, like the tire pump, for instance. did that together for a few years, and then, yeah, I started doing it down here, which it was totally new for them. They'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
And then ended up doing it on David Letterman and stuff like that. But
Took him to New York, and I did it forever down there. Nobody even noticed.
There's no competition there whatsoever.
Yeah.
No competition.
And he's retired now, so yeah.
It's all free.
Yeah,
Free.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Matt was so young when he was there at the show with us pretty much every night.
Be careful now, you put someone's eye out with that thing.
So it's kind of like just built into him to do the things that his dad did.
This Ozark Entertainment legacy continues, and Matt Gum, you're awesome. Thank you for your time, has found good company to keep.
So long, saddle pals, we'll see you down the trail.
Oh, that is so fun. And you know, one of the things that I think about is there's such limited good family shows around.
And that's one you can take everybody to, that's for sure, Julia. And also, our photographer, Steve Rhodes, grew up with his family going to see Tom Gum and his act. And so now it's gone from one generation to another. It's pretty cool.
You definitely know that name.
Absolutely.
All right, so from one performing family to another, I know you got a chance to meet the Von Trapps.
The who?
Von Trapps.
Absolutely.
Am I saying that right?
Absolutely.
The inspiration, believe it or not, behind The Sound of Music.
Well, this is one of the more popular stories that we ever did. And today, the Von Trapps run a gorgeous lodge in Stowe, Vermont, where you can unwind and experience the beauty of the mountain vistas just like those in Austria. The mountains of Vermont are a jaw-dropping palette of pigment, very reminiscent of autumn in Austria. It's the inspiration behind this family-owned resort. A family with a particularly famous last name.
I'm Johannes Georg von Trapp.
I'm Christina Von Trapp.
I am Sam Von Trapp here at the Trapp Family Lodge in Stowe, Vermont.
Still don't recognize the name? Maybe this will help. That must be something, to have a name that just brings joy to people because of the memories.
Often that's true.
The hills fill my heart with the sound of music.
Johannes von Trapp is the only remaining living child of Georg and Maria von Trapp.
Well, we moved here in 1943. I was 3 years old.
He and his 2 adult children now run this 2,600-acre resort. When the family started transitioning from music, what was the reason to make this into a resort rather than just a farm?
You know, my grandmother realized how special this place was, and they often had friends visiting. As they traveled around the country and the world, they met so many people, and so friends would come and visit, and they realized the impact that this place had on their friends. And my grandmother felt that this place was too special to not share.
Their private lives figured in newsreels.
A history tour offers a unique perspective into the family and helps separate fact from fiction in the movie. Guests can see a chapel built by the Von Trapps after World War II.
Yeah, this is a real pilgrimage spot for a lot of our guests.
And the bell works.
You can tell I don't ring it all that often. Yeah, I'm not. Our guests are better at ringing it than I am.
But it travels down the hills.
It does, it does.
All right, everyone, come on in.
The tour also visits the family cemetery.
Daughter Maria, 1914 to 2014.
It's a chance to learn more about the real lives of family members laid to rest there. going through this progression of time, I'm sure that's very emotional for people.
It is.
Was there a point in your life when you thought, hey, these people are kind of involved in my life. My family has had a tremendous effect on them. Was there a moment where you hit that realization?
I think daily. Really?
Over 1 billion people are estimated to have seen that musical. And then you think about how much good has been done, and that to me is extremely powerful.
We just get such a huge range of ways that people have brought the Sound of Music into their lives.
And then the film was extremely well done.
As we were driving up here, music from The Sound of Music just came roaring through my head. And there was a song, I love it, but I can't think of how it starts.
Could it be doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun?
Me, a name, I call myself, Fa.
A long, long way to ski. That's my version, yeah.
I got to sing The Sound of Music with a Von Trapp.
I just did something that I've never done. In my 15 years back here, I have never sung on camera.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's cut a CD.
So yeah, we should.
That will bring us back to do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, so do.
Oh my gosh. And this is my childhood, Chuck. I grew up, all my brother and my sisters, we would sit down every year and we would watch this around the holidays.
And what you're saying, Julia, is what thousands, really millions of people say. And that's why that place in the fall is so much fun. Everybody wanting to come back and reconnect with their childhood. But that little song exchange was...
that was very significant,
That was
right?
extremely significant, both for Sam and also for me. Like he said, Sam had never done that before on camera. I wasn't expecting it. Just started, and he joined in. A once-in-a-lifetime experience for that family, for sure.
I love that. Well, up next, so we are heading to a very popular vacation destination, one of my favorite places, Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, it's an incredible city. It's full of history and culture and, of course, food, right? And I'm pretty sure I gained several pounds on this trip as well. One staple in the region is oysters. So we set up a true farm-to-table experience to see how this delicacy is picked and prepared.
Man, this is special. You know, this is a special place and it's beautiful.
And it's something that very few people really get to see. I mean, to be out here where we are, not many people at all get to take this journey.
These marshlands all around us produce flavor. You got to get a lot of oysters. It's all about numbers.
Trey McMillan was a nationally famous pro fisherman. But a few years ago, he gave it all up to focus on oyster farming, and he hasn't looked back.
So Trey, what are we doing here right now?
So we're gonna pull all these bags out of the cages. We're basically gonna work our way back down this line here.
His Low Country Oyster Company harvests millions of oysters for use, mainly in restaurants across the country.
We have a half dozen or dozen on the half shell on a plate of ice. The good Low Country flavor, you can't beat it.
The team carefully processes each harvest, making sure only the best make it from farm to table. And for that,
add these beautiful oysters.
We met up with culinary instructor and chef Kevin Mitchell.
These are really delicate, so once again, they won't take too long to cook. Some celery here.
Chef Kevin prepares students to be part of Charleston's legacy of fine food. Knowing how to prepare oysters is a must.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yes. That oyster flavor is really kicked up, but I will sprinkle just a little bit of salt. This is our oyster soup, stew, whichever you want to call it.
What a wonderful farm-to-table experience, Chef Kevin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a South Carolina delicacy, homegrown and harvested in this beautifully remote corner of the Low Country.
And how many acres?
350,000.
You're a one-man band almost at times out here.
Yeah, you're not going to call somebody to come bring you Uber lunch or anything, I can tell you that.
I don't know if you caught that number, but the oyster farm, the whole area is 350,000 acres of the Low Country. And there's really nothing else there. It's swamp and oysters. But it was one of the most beautiful stops that,
Glad
we
they
had.
made do with all they had there.
Yes,
the oysters.
absolutely. Hey, another stop that we made was to make me a Southern gentleman. And this is one of the hats that we were able to go. It was a place called Just Roots. And that was the hat. It was all part of a Southern gentleman. This does not work in Indiana, by the way.
On you it does.
Oh, well, thank you. On the streets of Charleston, it was really pretty good. And I am so thankful that we had the opportunity to go to Charleston. By the way, in Charleston, which was one of the more popular places that we went to, you can see all the stories from there and all my trips on WTHR Plus.
Oh, that is one that I'm sure you'll remember. So I also know Charleston is full of history, and that's one of the reasons I love it. So today you can visit Fort Sumter, which is the site of the first shots of the Civil War. Your next stop, a place considered really the turning point in that war.
I think every American should see this too. We are headed now to Pennsylvania, and the 3-day Battle of Gettysburg was brutal, Julia, but it marked the beginning of the Confederate downfall. And today, scars of the battle are still evident around the town. And we met a group of dedicated people working to make sure this history is never forgotten.
I don't have words to fully describe what Gettysburg means to the nation. I think to every person who comes here, that idea is going to be different. It's going to be unique. There's more than 1,300 monuments and markers, from the smallest of markers that may only be about the size of a small box, all the way up to massive monuments that would maybe remind you more of something in downtown Washington, D.C. You can follow along where the battle took place by looking at where these monuments are lined up, and also following where the cannon are lined up. Are they shooting in this direction or that direction?
To read the accounts of what some of these men went through here and experienced here is incredible. There's a story on every corner in this town and every part of this battlefield.
We shall meet, but we shall miss him. There will be one vacant chair.
Tell me about the role that this production plays in the church.
On the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, the Army commandeered this building and turned it into a hospital.
When a year ago we gathered, joy was in his mild blue eye.
We have stories of the people that were here, and we feel it's important to keep those stories alive. So we do it through songs.
We shall meet, but we shall miss him. There will be one vacant
And these soldiers, both sides have made their choice. And we see one side is successful and one side is not. And we look at the consequences of the war down to today. And I personally feel there's tragedy, immense tragedy on both sides. but it's worth the cost. It's worth the cost.
The sense of being awestruck is very common. Knowing that you are able to stand and to walk and to journey in the footsteps and be right there, in essence, with those soldiers.
We do history here. We don't glorify it. We don't propagandize it. And we certainly do not trivialize it. It can be messy, ugly, and brutal. But we choose to remember history and not hide it.
There will be one vacant chair,
Lest we end up repeating that which we forgot.
caressing when we breathe our evening prayer.
Just amazing, Chuck. And this was actually a return for you. You had
Yeah.
already been there.
Like many kids, I went there in the 8th grade. That was our 8th grade trip to Gettysburg and then to Washington, D.C. And I remembered and thought it was so moving, even as a kid. But now as an adult, realizing that my family fought on one side of the war, my wife's family fought on the complete other side of the war, but realizing these were young men, most of whom were between 16 and 22. We just, by coming out of there, I think our whole team felt like, thank God we're teaching people about this, because we never want this to happen
And
again.
it is not commercialized.
No.
I mean, there's nothing about that. Love it. Thank you.
Oh, it was a great time. And I'll tell you, we are just getting started though. We've got much more of my favorite big adventures to come, including a stop at a museum dedicated to
kids.
Mustard.
Oh,
Plus,
shoot. Let's redo that.
That's all right. Plus my wild side. I still can't believe I got talked into some of this. We'll have it for you right after this break.
And welcome back to the Chuck's Big Adventure Special. We are sharing some of Chuck's favorite stories from his travels over the years. This next one was really a surprise to you?
Oh, it sure was. In fact, I'll be honest, this place was not on our original list when we visited Wisconsin back in the winter of 2021. But when something else fell through, we ended up at the Mustard Museum, and boy, I'm sure glad we did. (1986).
The Red Sox were in the World Series.
Yeah, they lost.
They came within a pitch of winning it.
And Barry Levinson did what any long-suffering fan would do.
I was so depressed.
He cried. Then went to the grocery store.
I decided I needed a hobby. As I walked down the condiment aisle, I remember passing the ketchups and the olives and the pickles and the relishes, the mayos, nothing. Suddenly, I was in front of the mustards and I heard a voice. If you collect us, they will come. I did. They have.
Such is the origin story of this monument to mustard.
I'm Barry Levinson, founder and curator of the National Mustard Museum here at the museum in Middleton, Wisconsin. We have the world's largest collection of mustards and mustard memorabilia. To my right, to my left, everywhere. There's fruit mustards, yellow mustard, exotic mustards. We have mustards from all 50 states. Of course, France, from Sweden, from Norway, from all over the world. So many different mustards. It's like, who's your favorite child?
This attorney, who's argued cases in front of the Supreme Court, is now making a case for this curious condiment.
Is it something that should tickle your nose?
And against the competition.
It's not mayonnaise, right?
Right.
So it's exciting.
And don't even bring up the red stuff.
According to the National Condiment Research Council annual report that just came out, ketchup is now the leading cause of childhood stupidity in America. We find old antique mustard pots, old mustard tins, paintings about mustard. We do regard mustard as an art form, not just something that you eat.
His book, The Art of Mustard, is the go-to document on the subject, and
don't get flustered. Eat your mustard.
He has a kid's book, too.
If Bumbly Bill is too much blustered, feed him giant globs of mustard.
Visitors here can dive into history, take home some tasty souvenirs.
Will you be yellow, mellow fellow?
And if they're lucky, get to meet the mustard maestro himself.
We are the home of America's Mustard College. Poop on you. And I am honored to present you with a diploma from Poop on You. We have a DDS degree, Doctor of Diddly Squat, with highest honors in useless information.
Thank you. I will appreciate this. This is going to go with my Emmys and with my wedding picture.
Of course.
Sometimes life's disappointments bring the biggest victories.
On our hot dogs, on our bratwurst, mustard is so cool.
And so it's been for Barry Levinson.
Never ketchup.
Joy found in a jar.
You rah rah, gleaming gold and mellow yellow, smooth, rough, sweet and hot. Fight, Poop on You will fight and eat some lunch.
Woo! Thank you, Barry.
Congratulations.
Not many people have a Poop on You certificate.
Yes, as a doctorate in diddly squat.
Yes, a diddly squat.
But, you know, we knew as soon as we met Barry, Julia, that this story was going to be a good one. By the way, started in 1992 there in Middleton. It's a beautiful facility. 6,000 jars, 50 states, 17 countries, and Barry. And he's
like
the star of the show.
You said, as soon as you met Barry, you're
we've got something here.
We've got a story.
The museum also has a great gift shop where you can expand your mustard collection. And here's the good thing. It's all available online, too. So if you like mustard, go to it.
That is my condiment.
There you go.
Mustard is, by the way. All right, so I know that museum ended up being one of your favorite stories ever from your travels, but I have a feeling this next one's right up there with it. So we both know there's nothing quite like the love of dogs.
Oh, this is absolutely true. We both love dogs, and I know many of you do too. During our trip to New England, we found a place dedicated to the dog. It is truly a bucket list destination. It's celebrating man and woman's best friend.
How do you honor unconditional love? How can you praise your most faithful companion? Well, in this corner of Vermont, you give them their own mountain.
When I saw the picture of the dog park of this size, I was like, wow, we have to come over here.
You want to shake?
And sure enough, it's very dog friendly.
Who comes to visit?
Kudos. This is Dozer.
Juniper.
Everybody. I mean, you know, people come from all over the world.
Hey, we should go to see this thing finally.
Somebody mentioned Dog Mountain, and I thought that's perfect for us.
It's just so peaceful and calm. And
we walk 5 miles a day up here.
And this is more than just a park or a gallery. It's kind of a mission, right?
It is a big mission. It's a mission to preserve artwork, the artwork of Stephen Hunick.
Renowned folk artist Stephen Hunick and his wife Gwen created Dog Mountain in 1995. The Huniks turned a barn into a studio surrounded by 150 acres where dogs and their owners are welcome to roam and play.
Stephen had a relief, says dogs make people human. And I bet you see that every day, don't you?
You do. It's true. Stephen had a wit, whimsy, and wisdom, you know. So he had these little phrases that are all over the artwork and just out there. It was really, he was spot on with that connection.
The centerpiece of Dog Mountain is the chapel.
This is just such a spectacular thing that this guy did. What a dedication he put to this thing.
Hunik called it the largest and most personal artwork of his life. The walls are covered with pictures.
You love them like they're your children.
Drawings.
So how long ago did you lose your pup?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And letters left to remember beloved pets who are no longer here.
And I think people who have that relationship get it.
It's been 365 days without you. I feel only one day closer to accepting it. Miss you, old girl.
What's cool about the chapel and how people are after they exit is that everybody's really real and raw and their guard is down. And you meet people, they'll just start talking to you without pretense.
Hidden among the thousands of messages that cover the walls of the chapel are remembrances of Dog Mountain's creator. Stephen Hunik lost a lifelong battle with depression in 2010. His wife Gwen followed him in death just 3 years later.
How did you keep this going? It seems like that would be it.
Yeah, it's pretty miraculous, and it took a lot of work and a lot of love and a lot of heart.
Though Stephen and Gwen's lives ended tragically, their legacy is joyful.
It's great. Nobody comes up here in a bad mood. Nobody.
They left a place unlike any in the world.
Pretty much all fun, aren't you?
A place where generations of dog lovers will continue to rejoice in the hugs, the loyalty, and the simple grace of man's best friend.
One of the things that I notice about people who own dogs is when they are around that animal, they are softened.
Yeah, definitely. Things are finite, and life is short. Dog Mountain is a great place to come and be celebratory of that.
Say bye.
You know, even though it's kind of tough, we're really lucky to be here on the earth, especially people with dogs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, Julia, I feel I'm a better person for having gone there and experienced that. And here's a quick story, okay? Our dog, the Senator, was very sick last week. We took him to an animal hospital. On the wall was that relief that said, "Life is a ball," by Stephen Hunik in the animal hospital. And we got a chance to talk to the tech who was with us and tell her the story about Stephen Hunik. She couldn't believe it. So it was a wonderful time.
And what a great story. And one that really almost didn't happen because you said there is a backstory to this. Your photographer, Steve Rhodes, who has shot most of these amazing pieces, actually just kind of left a piece of equipment behind.
Yeah, our photographer, Steve, accidentally left behind a piece of his gear. So on the way to another shoot the next day, we were able to stop by to pick it up. And by chance, we ran into a man with his dog in the parking lot. Well, it just happened to be the late couple's dog, Stephen and Gwen. And the man who now cared for her shared a much deeper story with us about Stephen and Gwen. It truly is a special place that every dog lover should experience.
And even if you don't, you would probably just find happiness there. So up next, we are headed to Southwest Michigan to meet an artist who prides himself on pushing the boundaries.
Yes, and maybe making history. Jeff Blanford wanted to do the impossible. He wanted to create something beautiful from an unusual medium. And it's safe to say, I think he succeeded.
So my work is really about design. It's easy to understand. It's about color, it's about shape. And now more than ever, it's about materials. Taking unusual materials, bringing them to the studio, breaking rules. And that's a big part of my work, is the evolution. My name is Jeff Blanford, and I'm a potter and glassblower of Saugatuck, Michigan.
Tell me about your shop, because it's very eclectic.
Well, thank you. That's a great compliment. I try and do a huge variety of things.
Jeff's art has been a lifelong journey.
Trying to create things that I have not seen.
Always moving forward.
Every year I unveil something new.
Never accepting boundaries.
Someone said you can't do something, well, I want to know why. Someone told them, and I've just got to see it for myself.
And so here, on the shores of his beloved Lake Michigan, Jeff decided that the impossible was possible.
The sand around here is used for industry. But there's never been a glass blower that's used it and made it to create a quality, stretchable, blowable glass. I did my research, a little bit of experimentation, studying ancient Roman glass. What were they able to do with limited technology? Get it hot enough, cleaner sands, melt it all, iron-rich sands. I didn't think it would work, but it has, and it's surpassed my hopes even.
Inside this studio, molten glass is shaped and will cool to become a beautiful blue teal.
As if everything I have done in the past doesn't exist, and I want to focus on this new thing.
The color is unique to this creation, what Jeff likes to call backyard glass.
It's also very special. As a youngster, I played in the sand, and I always wondered what the sands were made of and what it could be in glass, but how. It's come very full circle, being that I've grown up around here.
Taking sand from the beach is not allowed, but Jeff finds an infinite supply by cleaning drifting sand from nearby properties.
It lights me on fire like I never have been before. The potential is huge.
Jeff could have traveled the world trying to find the secret to his glass-blowing question. But the answer was, and is, and always will be, in his own backyard.
From beach sand. Beach sand to glass.
That is incredible.
What do you think?
I love it, and I love that it's sand because the beach is one of my favorite places, and the color. This is, you brought this piece with you, and it is just stunning.
It's gorgeous, and you know, people have asked me since this piece, a lot of people have commented on this piece. Well, didn't they make ball mason jars out of sand? And the answer is kind of, sort of, yes. But we're talking about a stretchable glass that's blown as a work of art. Never been done before. So Jeff has really got on to something. And by the way, I follow him on social media and see that he is still exploring and experimenting every single day.
I did not know that's why ball glass jars have that little hint of color in them as well.
There you go.
Very interesting. Okay, so these next few stories, they will actually be a little bit of a walk on the wild side.
Yeah, a lot of fun. In fact, they definitely put the adventure in Chuck's Big Adventure. Well, never in a million years, Julia, would I ever imagine I'd do this. Have you ever heard of zorbing?
No.
You have now.
I know. I definitely have not, but I know what it is now, thanks to you. And of course, some very memorable moments. Check this out.
I drive into town. First thing you're going to see when you come to town is the beautiful Smoky Mountains in the background. And then as you go, it's like Las Vegas for little kids.
The Pigeon Forge Gatlinburg area has everything. And I mean everything you can imagine.
Activity after activity, all kinds of shows, and you got the foothills of the Smoky Mountains.
Endless choices for tourists, but a never-ending challenge to grab their attention.
Yes, that's true. That too.
So how does an attraction stand out here? Well, this guy figured it out.
Whoa, Chris, what is this thing?
This is an outdoor gravity orb used for zorbing. My name's Chris Roberts. I'm owner of the Outdoor Gravity Park, the only zorbing park in the United States.
Zorbing? What is that?
It's for riding down the hill. We put about 10 gallons of water in it.
Wait a minute. Let's break this down. That hill is 1,000 feet. That ball, the size of a small car.
It's an 11-foot ball. Inside's a 6-foot ball.
Add some water and a less than agile meteorologist. And I guess that's zorbing. Totally not tense. I'm just gonna let this happen.
I hope you're good.
Oh man.
It's tons of fun.
Oh man. There are 3 different routes. I took the most direct. More on that in a moment. If you're adventurous like Alec and our producer Megan, you can opt for the more extreme zigzag course.
That is so much faster inside than it is out here. It's so much faster.
Oh my gosh. Oh, but it's safe.
Oh, very safe. 5 years and up can do it.
Zorbing originated in New Zealand about 25 years ago, but thanks to Chris Roberts, the sport has arrived in America. A unique, wet, that was awesome, and sometimes wild way to experience the Smoky Mountains.
Good work, man.
Woo!
And that is zorbing.
I want
right?
you to do it. You would enjoy it.
Oh my gosh,
Look,
that
if
is
I can
crazy.
do it, you could do
Yeah,
it.
I
That's
know.
for sure. And it is true. It's much faster when you're in it because you're basically floating in water and turning like that. It's a lot of fun, though.
It looks like it. Okay, so your next water adventure is a place in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And I know you actually got to meet a couple that actually ride the waves together.
I had been to Cocoa Beach many times, but I never did this. In fact, I got to try surfing on land, at least.
First Light, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
It brings a good state of mind for myself.
And this morning,
It humbles you.
like every morning,
It's my little bubble out there.
the sea calls. And that call will be answered.
You know, it's something about being in the ocean. They'll say, you know, only a surfer knows the feeling. And it's really true because every time you go out there, it's never the same.
This laid-back beach town is home to surfing superstar Kelly Slater. Ron John, the world's most famous surf shop, that's here too. Something Cocoa Beach does not have? Monster waves. And that's the appeal.
We call us the small wave capital of the world.
Small wave capital of the world.
Small wave,
Yeah.
small wave capital of the world.
Yeah.
What determines a small wave? What is a small wave? What does that mean?
So a small wave is probably anything below like chest, head high.
It's up to the surfer. Somebody that's a beginner, they look at a 6 to 8 foot wave, they're like, ah!
Man, that's a house coming at me.
Former pro surfer Todd Holland and wife Lauren McLean both grew up in Cocoa Beach. Now they run the Ron John School of Surfing.
I mean, it keeps us together. Those who play together stay together.
Yeah.
And we do that as a family.
For you, surfing has always been a way of life, right?
Yeah, you know, most kids get like footballs or soccer balls. I had a surfboard at 11 months old.
Todd's son Calvin is a surf instructor too.
Perfect, just like that.
He says anyone,
You're just gonna push up nice and strong.
and I do mean anyone, can learn to catch a wave.
Then push up with your hands and twist to the side as you stand. All right, not bad. That was pretty good.
It's infectious, and I'm glad that we get to share that with people.
Your stance is perfect, feet are aligned.
Newbie or not, it's hard to resist the call of the sea at Cocoa Beach. We're ready to do it.
Yes, sir.
Who's the best surfer in the water? The one having the most fun.
Calvin, I got to tell you, I think School of Surf is one of the coolest things that I've ever heard of.
Oh, totally.
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 I thought you had very good form.
Totally.
Totally man would have been even better, yeah.
You know, as a high schooler and then into early college, I was an athlete, but I never got to surf. That is the one sport that I wish that I could have done. So it was good just to even touch the hem of the garment there.
That is one I'd always wanted to try
Yeah.
too. Very interesting.
You could still do it. Me, not so much.
Maybe. Okay, so I thought that was extreme, but now we're talking way different, next level. The next spot is Niagara Falls.
Well, they assured me that I would not lose my lunch. Well, I didn't, but I almost did, but it was worth the ride. Let's go to Niagara Falls and check out the Whirlpool jet boats. Class 5 rapids, a whirlpool, swirling with nature's fury.
Are we ready to go jet boating?
Take a boat ride through it all? Sure, why not?
In 3, 2, and 1.
Well, first off, we got to talk a little about where we are and what the Niagara River does. The Niagara River is a 35-mile-long river that connects Lake Erie to Lake Ontario. There is 330 feet of drop in elevation between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Now, obviously, 170 feet of that drop occurs where? At the falls. However, that still leaves us about another 160 feet of elevation drop to be made up somewhere. And that's because of the Whitewater Rapids. So we're going to jump that 160 feet of elevation drop in one of these hot rod jet boats here today.
Whirlpool Jet Boats has been conquering this stretch of the Niagara River for decades.
The latest in technology, 1,800 horsepower in these boats.
This isn't just a joyride.
Are we ready to brave these Class 5 rapids or what?
It's a TV production. Cameras are positioned on board at every angle, and we added our views to capture every bump, dunk, and scream.
The mainstay of our program is what we call the wet jet. And you see that they all have windshields on the front of them. Yes. I wish I could tell you that that windshield was to keep you dry. It's actually a perfect launching ramp for the waves to be deflected onto the guests on board.
Smacked us. Yeah. Smacked us. In the face. Like a tsunami, just like a big wall of water. You're underneath water. Completely underneath water.
Did you ever get it in the mouth?
A little bit.
We do have an alternative, and it's called the Freedom Jet, where you're free to get wet or free to stay dry. We go to exactly the same place. You get to experience the waves. Whoa! But you can go dressed as you are now.
So I claim my constitutional right to stay dry on the Freedom Boat. I stayed dry. Whoa! But it was a wild ride.
I think I'm like 10 pounds heavier from how wet I am right now.
People mostly say to me, that is something that I thought I could never do. That's a place in this world I would never have thought of myself going to. These boats make it safe and enjoyable for the wide breadth of people that come here to Niagara.
Take that last breath of air on 1 hand. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh, that is so awesome.
If I had to do it all over again, Miss Moffat,
Yes.
I would not have been inside. I would have been outside
Okay.
on the side of the boat
Okay, why is that?
because I could throw up then. I held it in.
I know, that's a little, I mean, I would have to really be talked into that.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of people do just fine with it. In fact, it's my understanding that only about 1 or 2 people a month really lose it. So you can do it.
Yes, I'm realizing I'm a big wimp watching these stories. Okay, so really the story goes here. This ride lasted longer for you than it should have.
Yeah, and you want to know what that's all about? Well, come to find out that after we were done, our photographer, Steve, was on a film boat with the owner of the company. And he wanted to make sure that we got a complete ride and Steve got all the shots he needed. So we ended up taking a few second passes at the rabbits, extending our ride by a bit. And I was very green at the end, but everyone else seemed to enjoy it. It is a wild ride. I would highly, though, recommend it on any trip to Niagara Falls for sure.
It looked like a lot of
It
fun.
was.
Right up your kid's alley for sure. Okay, so this next adventure takes us from one extreme ride on the water to another on the track. And I know this was really a meaningful bucket list for you.
Yeah, it sure was. My dad and my brother both have passed away, but they were both big Corvette Stingray guys or just Corvette guys, depending on the year. Well, it's been a dream of mine to get behind the wheel and just let it go. And I got that experience at the National Corvette Museum Raceway in Kentucky. It's a memory I'll keep forever. Boom.
The roar is familiar. The cars are unmistakable. For any Corvette fan, the NCM Motorsports Park is the ultimate driving destination. Built by Corvette experts for Corvettes, and there's no other place like it in the automotive world.
Without a question, we have one of the best road courses in not only North America, but probably the whole world. 3.2 miles, 23 turns, numbered.
Teach you to sit in a car a little bit differently than what you might expect.
Okay.
Bring your own car, or you can drive one of theirs. I got the once-in-a-lifetime chance to drive the new hybrid E-Ray.
I have waited for this minute for 30 years. Woo! Let's go racing. This is great. Woo! Boy, is this a gas. Well, this is a high-performance vehicle, and I can really feel it now.
The only way to really know this car and learn to love this car is to drive it.
Oh, we are getting fast now.
The cool thing is it takes a fraction of a second to realize, holy moly, this is something really special.
The power that you feel. Woo! Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Wow.
But I wasn't done yet.
We're going to do launch mode.
I hopped in the passenger seat for a hot lap with instructor and general manager Zach. Buckle up. You're going to want to hold on for this one.
Win.
All right, hot laps on track. Track is on. So right now, the car is in full gasoline mode, full power mode, so it's giving me everything it's got.
The idea here, drive these bets like they were designed to be driven.
And then it accelerates like a banshee. Lots of brakes. Sure does. So we can do things in this car that we can't do in any other car because of the technology and the design of it.
Whoa,
right
whoa.
Here.
Woo!
And then back up the hill.
It's almost as if you can feel G-forces here.
Well, you can because we're pulling about 1.2 Gs right now.
Oh, man.
And now we're going to roll in and we're going to give her all she's got and get down
Here
this
we go.
straightaway.
Wow.
There's going to be lots of brakes at the end of this, so get ready. 3, 2, lots of brakes.
Whoa!
Lots of brakes. Lots of brakes. Pitch her in.
Woo! You're a heck of a driver, man.
It's a great place to fall in love with the great American sports car all over again.
Zach, I thought at one point this was going to be Chuck's big adventure to the emergency room. This was Chuck's big adventure to absolute joy. This is one of the thrills of my life. Thank you so much. It truly is one of the best. I've seen a lot of great road courses in my life, and that probably is the best one in the world. And to drive that E-Ray was a magical experience. I like going fast. I have proof of that from the Indiana State Police, but I try to keep it legal now, but that is, if you're into speed and into cars, that is a wonderful place to go.
And kind of a note, when you were wearing the helmet and in the passenger seat, you were well over 100 miles per hour. But when you
well over 100.
Yeah. When you don't have a helmet on, there's like the rule that you don't go over.
Yes, the rule is about 100. You can hit 100, but they really do want you to wear a helmet when you're going over 100, like 135, 140. Or faster. Yeah. Now, across the street is the National Corvette Museum. It's an amazing collection of these cars from the early days to the future, and it's just a day trip from Indianapolis.
That's what I was thinking. It's a great idea. Well, so for this next one, we're actually headed back down to Florida for another wild ride.
You can say that again. I think this one was even more terrifying than breaking 100 miles per hour in that Vette. But these retirees are loving life in the fast lane, and Julia, they wouldn't have it any other way.
Welcome to the Villages.
Sharon Grant. I'm 72 years old from Cincinnati, Ohio.
138,000 residents.
I'm Larry Gooding, 79, from Perkiomenville, Pennsylvania.
Minimum age, 55.
Dan Roderman, 68, Troy, Michigan.
Pat Gursky, 74, from Minocqua, Wisconsin.
Senior citizens from, well, everywhere.
Nyla Mahood, 70 years old, Las Vegas, Nevada. Jeanette Kislich, 65, Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Glenn Darby,
Marie Kish,
Frederick, Maryland.
The pace here, relaxed. Unless, that is, you spend time with these folks.
We are the flying golf carts. Chuck, you come on in here.
Great.
We're going to seatbelt you.
Very good, thank you.
And we're going to drop this armrest, okay? So you're locked in, all right?
Fantastic.
The Villages offers residents the choice of over 3,000 different clubs and activities. Woo! The flying golf carts may be the most unique option.
I'm going to close my eyes, Glenn.
Look, I do myself too, so you're in good company.
We're in trouble.
This isn't a parade troop, it's a precision corps of drivers.
Pop over now.
This is synchronized swimming in golf carts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Spacing has to be just right.
1.5 cart spacing.
The timing has to be just right.
Now.
It's a dance. A really fast. Watch out! Full on daredevil kind of dance.
Honey, where's my heart medicine?
Teacup, and that's where you go complete circles.
This one is called Lazy Loops.
Swagger, that's when we're going in and out.
Pop over.
Blizzard.
Dizzy Donut.
The cupcake.
All these playfully named stunts are part of a show that entertains fans year-round.
What's the favorite of the crowd?
The Venus flytrap. For the same reason, everybody's mouth goes, I like the same response you have. Wow! Wow, gee, that was close, you know.
You're in a community where everyone's driving a golf cart and you can get to movie theaters, healthcare, stores, everything by golf cart.
So this whole idea of the flying carts is really the golf cart culture of the Villages on steroids.
Yeah. Yes.
For the Flying Golf Cart Club, retirement doesn't mean quitting.
I am a flying golf cart stunt pilot.
It means proving to themselves
I am a flying golf cart stunt pilot.
and the villages
I am a flying golf cart stunt pilot.
the fun is just begun.
I am a flying golf cart stunt pilot. Stunt pilot.
Stunt pilot.
Stunt pilot.
Flying golf cart stunt pilot.
It's such a different lifestyle.
We have to give Chuck a break.
I'm really happy to be part of this group.
Hey, forget Disney and Universal. We've got the flying golf carts, man.
Yes!
Oh my gosh, and I noticed how, thank goodness he put that armrest down because you did not let go of that.
I didn't let go of it. And when we did the Venus flytrap a couple of times, at one point, maybe you can recall seeing it in the piece, I leaned my head back and just closed my eyes. Lord, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But they were magnificent. And you talk about precision. They practice so often, and they're really, really good.
They're retired. What else?
What else is there to do?
Good for them. All right, so next up is an interview. This was, I know, a career changer for you. We've been friends a long time, so I know how much this was. You got a chance to sit down with members of Chicago, talk about their music, their legacy, and what they mean to you.
Well, and you know, my perspective on this is I grew up in the Chicago area. They were my favorite band, and they've been together for more than 50 years. So what was the secret of success? Here's my conversation with the band Chicago. What would Chuck's Big Adventure about Chicago be without Chicago? So Lee Loughnane, Robert Lamb, Jimmy Pankow, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
And by the way, congratulations. Apparently, you did what Ponce de Leon did, and you found the fountain of youth. You guys look great. Is it the music that keeps you young?
Partially that, partially having children and traveling around the country, and you know, we're moving around like we're 20 years old, and we have to act like it as well.
I mean, a year and a half where people had basically nothing to do, and now they're going to your shows. Do you see that release or relief in them?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. It's very touching. You get a kind of lump in your throat, you know, when you first walk out on stage, and people are so happy. They're happy to be at a concert. They're happy to be anywhere other than home.
Yes, I know that it's plain to see.
You guys together, the three of you, 54 years. Is there a secret to having this relationship? Communication.
The first day we got together and played, we liked what it sounded like, and that really hasn't changed.
There is a famous rock singer that you guys actually have toured with, who I heard say, as bands get older and you bring new people in, most of the time the musicianship increases. You guys do see that?
That's true, yep.
Younger musicians bring an advanced knowledge of pop music.
And they help you to up your game.
Well, yeah, or they're able to keep up with us.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the music that has come through us has not gotten any easier today than it was the day it was written and recorded. So you have to keep your chops together just to keep up.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great.
What do the next 3 to 5 years look like for Chicago?
Well, if you ask our manager, we're going to be working in 5 years. So nothing's going to change.
Yeah, we're going to do it
much.
until we can't do it anymore. Well, for me, until it's not believable anymore. I mean, I don't want to get to the point where I'm struggling to climb on the stage. I mean, we have been very blessed. We're healthy, and as long as we can do it believably, we're going to be doing it, man.
It sounds good to us. People are enjoying it. There's no reason to stop.
And you look out there, man, and you see these faces, and you just, yeah! I'll never get sick of it, ever.
And I'm so thankful for our producer, Megan Simpson, the folks at Live Nation, and the best agent and manager in the world, Peter Schiavarelli, who's represented Chicago really since they were in college, for helping to make this happen.
That was great. And I know how much that meant to you. So I know there are more stories, so many more stories that you'd like to share, but we're just about out of time, and I can't believe that. But we are going to end with one fitting for your retirement send-off.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe that, because while we were in Asheville, North Carolina, we met a young man working as a busker poet. Now, during our visit, he crafted a poem for me that I'll hold dear for the rest of my life.
I would say before Asheville even became the tourist mecca that it is now, within the streets and downtown, you were sure to see buskers. You'd see it almost on every corner. I think just embedded in the artistic culture that also makes up the town.
And you are a different kind of busker, but you fit right in, it seems like.
In the sense of that, hello, I guess the sound of the typewriter. I imagine you've seen one of these before. The clicks and the clack have their own appeal musically. Come get a poem, personalized poem. Come get a free personalized poem. Love to create something beautiful for you. I'm Ryan Ashley, the poet, and I have a poem just for you. I am out there creating individual pieces of art, of poetry for people. Yeah, on demand, one at a time. I wouldn't want to say I judge you if you said no, but you know, free personalized poem. It's hard to beat. What's up, guys? I'm Ryan. The interactions I get to have with complete strangers, I love it. Sarah with an H. To have them share tidbits.
We're lovebirds.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can do anything.
I can definitely work with that. Personal information or moments of their life with me and trust me.
Former bandmate of mine who passed away from COVID.
And create a poem on that matter and then share it and read it with them and see their reaction is super, super powerful and meaningful and gives my life a lot of purpose. Lovebirds. Lexington wine sips, the kiss of yes, the sound of forever, the magic of fluttering love. Every letter you hit, click, clack, click, clack. That sets a pace for me to like find a flow. Another perfect day left for the prayers unanswered by whomever. Like new reggae rock and roll wave, you were there that day with the sound of the rain. The music will always carry you with us. And then the words themselves, they come from what I've spent most of my life doing, listening, reading, knowing how powerful the word is.
This is a big Christmas for me because 45 years ago, my wife and I had our first Christmas together, and I asked you to write something, and you were so kind enough to do it.
Yeah, I wanted to create something special for that situation and that story, and this is a poem titled 45 Years. The glowing lights appear. You can hear the carols sung. You have come along to this time of year, 45 rotations, and the magic is still here. Together in love, safe among the smell of pine, what a time of a festive season. What a reason to celebrate life. As Mary, Chuck, and the Senator snuggle up, as life's greatest gift has already been unwrapped, and exists and it is held with precious hands of love as the Christmas bells ring.
Wow. That's going in a frame. God bless you, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's an incredible gift. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man.
Wow.
I still have Ryan's incredible gift, and that story really meant a lot to me. He is a fine young poet. He's about the age of my boys. So it was great. It was easy to relate to him, and That was just a wonderful memory, as so many of these Chuck's Big Adventures have been.
Just beautiful. And I loved the greatest gift has already been unwrapped. And we are sending you off into retirement, you know, and you have that gift that you're going to be enjoying now in retirement, and I'm so glad about that.
Well, I've enjoyed it with you, sweetie. I have loved 25 years with you, and it's been one of the joys of my life.
It certainly has been one of my joys as well. So
I want you to see these Chuck's Big Adventure pieces,
I know.
okay?
Yes.
And there's a way that you can do it, all right? Because all of these Chuck's Big Adventures are here on WTHR Plus. All of our trips, Wisconsin, Michigan, Asheville, Niagara Falls, Florida, you name it, they're there.
And we calculated that we think you did about 140 big adventures because you did approximately 10 stories in each destination.
Trip. Yes. And I really want to thank my executive producer and my chief of staff, Megan Simpson, who made this work, along with noted photographer, editor, Steve Rhodes, and Scott Graber, who participated on several of these as well. Those were the folks who really made Chuck's Big Adventures happen. So we're done producing them, but you can still see them anytime you want.
I will watch them
All right.
as often as I can as we send you off into the sunset here in Indiana.
Well, thank you so much for watching this Chuck's Big Adventure favorite special. We appreciate so much your watching. Thanks.